Hi, this is Bird from birdsSVGs.com, and in this video I'll be showing you how I put the Let It Snow card together from the Let It Snow collection. First of all, I'm going to start with the card base, and this comes in two pieces, and one piece has got this fold down flap on it which becomes a hinge. So I'm just going to add some glue onto that tab, and then it will line up exactly with the other piece of the card base. When you turn it over, you'll see the line there where their join is, but we're going to add the insert and cover most of that up so you'll be hard pushed to see it. All that will show is two tiny little pieces either side of the insert. So this is a way to get a nice large card without a very obvious join. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that we get that in the right place. And then we're going to start with the pieces for the front of the card. There's quite a few there, but it does go together quite easily. They just layer up on top of each other. So we're going to start off with the sentiment, and this is in 3 layers. So we've got a white layer, then a coloured layer, and then a white layer on top again. So these all get glued directly on top of each other. Now what this does is it gives you delicate writing, but the backing pieces are solid enough that you can put some dimension behind them. I use 3D foam pads, but you might want to use silicone glue or glue dots. And it's sturdy enough to hold it. It won't buckle in between the foam pads. So to get the glue applied to the writing here, I use a fine line applicator. So it's really handy getting in these small areas. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on and add all of the sentiment pieces in place, and then I'll set this piece aside while it carries on drying, and I'll put the rest of the front of the card together, and this will be the last piece that will be placed onto the card. Now I've done the sentiment separate, so if you'd like to make your own sentiment, or another idea I had was I thought behind the frame it would look really great if you were to put a family photograph, and then the snowflake frame would frame that perfectly. So as I say, this sentiment piece is completely separate and gets added on to the end, so you've got as much versatility there as you can get. Okay, so again, these 3 pieces are going to be glued together. I'm just adding literally a few dots on all of the points. It's all it needs to hold it in place. So I'm just going to go around this outside edge, and then this will pop straight on top of the next layer. And it's nice and easy to line up. And then this again gets glued directly on top of the backing piece. So it looks like a lot more work has gone into this card than actually has, because it looks like it's nice and detailed, but it's really very easy to go together. So again, I'm just going to pick some points and add some little dots of glue. I'm not covering the whole area, it really doesn't need it. And then when I'm happy with that, I'll add it on to the backing piece of my frame. So you can see here, if you were to add a photograph in there, or a Christmassy image, that frame could be used in many ways, I think, where you could alter this card. Okay, so this is the panel for the front of my card. Just going to add some glue to the edge, and then I'll apply this directly to my card front. And then the other layers will go on top with some dimensional 3D foam pads. So once I'm happy that the glue's taken hold on the backing layer, I'll flip my frame over and I'll place some foam pads around my frame. So I'm adding one layer of foam to my frame. And then later on, I'll be adding 2 layers of foam to my sentiment in selected areas to make it stand forward of the frame, even though it's sat inside it. Okay, so I've added my foam pieces and I'm just removing the last of the backing covers. And then I'll put my frame onto the front of the card. And there'll be a small border around the frame where that backing layer is. Okay, so now I'm offering up my sentiment and I just want to see which areas overlap the snowflakes. So I'll add just one layer of foam pads to those. And then what I'll need to do is I'll need to add 2 layers of foam pads to the central area of my sentiment. So just remove the backing and from all of my foam pads there, and you can see the middle area is built up quite a way. But the outside edges, they've just got the one layer on and they touch. So it's all nice and secure, but you've got 2 layers of dimension. Okay, and that's my finished card. I've just added some gems to the middle of the snowflakes. And I hope this card comes in handy this Christmas time.